Back again? Okay. I'm calling these series the Your Questions and My Musings series. Okay? Yes, back to where thoughts come from. They are a manifestation of the universal consciousness into being. They are a form of collapse or condensation or solidification. There's many different ways that we can describe this action, but it is the action of energy moving from the pure, formless, potential energy into form. And thoughts are one of the first condensations of the universal consciousness into being. What I like about this is it's an excellent example of wave-particle duality because, and I will read it actually, thoughts come to us as an electrical impulse, and it is out of the pure waving, non-being state that these electrical impulses arise. The arising is still in our human realm as a wave or as a particle when we are speaking of a thought, because a thought is something that we cannot touch. It is totally intangible, but we know that they are definitely real. And this sense of a thought is a thought still in the wave phase of its existence. And then a thought is also expressed as these electrical impulses in the brain. And this is when it takes on its particle stage of the wave-particle duality, the measurable stage. So here is a wonderful example of wave-particle duality into something that almost everyone, I hope, is able to comprehend. Again, the pathways are a manifestation of our own creation, accepted or rejected through our own choice of free will. The thoughts that pop into our head out of the blue, or as I said in one video, the intuitions and inklings that suddenly we realize, these are all types of the pure first condensations out of the pure consciousness that is. And these intuitions and thoughts and whatever, they do not exist until we create it. They do not exist in the particle phase or even in the wave phase when we're speaking of thoughts and intuitions. They do not exist until we create them out of the all-potential consciousness that is. What we must do when we're speaking of these things is we need to open our consciousness to something that no one has the answers to. All I'm trying to do is give you my understanding of all of the information that, like you, I have read and listened to and tried to fathom, both on the scientific side and on the religious side, and all the spiritualists that are out now saying this and that and everything. We must open our consciousness and not be bothered by the fact that we don't understand. Just simply open and allow consciousness to show us the way. The beauty, this is the beauty of the all-potential consciousness. This is the beauty of free will. And this is the beauty of the phrase, we create our own reality. Because no one has the absolute answer. You are the one creating everything that you experience. So the answers that you are, the experiences that you are having are answering your thought process, which is created out of the consciousness that is. This makes it a very individual and personal experience. That's why I say in some of my presentations, because our thoughts are personal, then it's a given that, yes, it is true that our reality is personal. We create out of the consciousness that is everything that we experience. You talked about the brain dropping out some parts of consciousness that it may not have better, drop. Oh, that came out all right, wrong. You spoke about the brain dropping bits of consciousness that would have helped it in a situation, and you gave the example of an accident, that maybe being aware that an accident was going to happen would have been better for you, so the brain should not have dropped out that awareness. But again, it gets back to the lessons that you have chosen to experience. This heavy human state is very insistent, very physical, very now. The consciousness that is in its all potential state is nowhere near as heavy and insistent. In fact, it is very subtle. There's now a helicopter going over. I hope my voice will carry over it. This heaviness is what blocks our conscious awareness from being able to know that an accident is going to happen. And that's why an accident happens. One of the reasons why. That our heaviness of the human state overrides the subtleness of the messages coming from the universal consciousness. That, coupled with the fact that possibly that accident was a lesson that you chose to learn about, either dying from it, surviving from it, seeing someone else die and you did not die from it, any number of possible lessons that were involved with the experience you had with the accident. Okay, so for me, those are the two reasons why the brain, quote unquote, drops out some information that in our normal human realm we would rather have had to be able to avoid trouble. Thank you.